we are going to meet someone who has built a family corpus of 10 crore plus and earns a passive income of over 1.5 lakh a month. But their career journey didn't begin with a high-paying job.
So I was doing 2 jobs a day, close to about 21 hours every day out of 24.
Prasad's early life wasn't comfortable either.
I used to cycle to save money, close to about 40-50 kilometers a day.
Along the way, they made several investment mistakes. Their story is a proof that wealth isn't built overnight. So let's meet them and understand their 25 years of investing journey. Welcome to Power Up Money. So I would love to talk about your investment portfolio, but before that, I want to understand your early life and your career journey. Please go ahead.
My early life starts when I was born in 1976. I was born to educated couple. My father was a lecturer, mathematics lecturer, and my mother was a working woman before her marriage. But in 1980, for a medical challenge, I lost my father. So I was 4 years old when I lost him. And it was just my mother and my younger brother, who is just 1 year younger to me. We both were kids, and literally 3 of us did not have anywhere. We didn't know anywhere where to go and all that. Virtually on streets, virtually. So that was when my uncle, his name is Gundu Rao. He's a father figure for us. He took all 3 of us home, and he gave us shelter for about 3 years until my mother could get another government job or a continuation of her government job, which was there before her wedding back in 1983. So we went to a very small town in Hassan district called as Alur. That was the beginning of my journey. And these 2 people, my mother Shamala and my uncle, my mother's elder brother, his name is Gundu Rao. These are the 2 godly people for me in my life. So for me personally, these 2 people come first and God later.
Got it. So how has been your money mindset at that point in time?
Too young to really think about it. But something I have always seen is that we had enough money to get our education and everything done because my parents were very well qualified. They knew the importance of education. So my mother gave me and my brother good education, whatever we wanted to study. And we both did engineering, and we both are doing fairly well in our life at this point in time. I did my engineering in industrial and production engineering and completed it in 1999. And when I got started in 1999, my salary was about 2,500 rupees. 1999, coming to Bangalore city, taking a house or a room on a rent, and then still need to eat 3 times a day was a bit of a challenge, which with 2,500 rupees salary that I was getting. So I picked up second job during that time between 1999 to 2002. I picked up a second job, which was the morning job was from say 10 to 5. So I used to come back to my room, cook myself a dinner, and then run for another job at 8 o'clock, which used to start at 9. 9 to 3 was some kind of a data entry activity because I wanted to sustain myself and didn't want to rely on my mother for any kind of financial help, even after my graduation. So that drove me to the second job. So I was doing 2 jobs a day, close to about 21 hours every day out of 24.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I've done that for about 1.5 to 2 years.
So literally you've slept only for 3-4 hours.
3 hours a day. Yeah. I do share this with my kids as well because they need to know that life is not easy.
So at that point in time, you said 2,500 was your salary And at night income, you were also earning?
3,500 rupees.
Yeah. So at that point in time, with that income, how were you able to manage your expenses at that point in time?
Yeah. So back then, the idea was not really investment. Investment probably was last on the list.
Obviously.
You need to survive in Bengaluru, eat 3 meals a day, pay the rent. And also, I used to cycle close to about 40, 50 kilometers a day.
Plus cook. Because
cook,
you are staying there alone. It's a bachelor's time.
Yeah.
So he used to cook, eat, cycle and work. 2 jobs. And sleep for 3 hours a day.
Okay, that's then really inspiring. So after 2002, how your career grew?
2002, something interesting happened. One of those weekends when my own classmate by name Anil, he had come to my room. We used to meet regularly. They are some of my good buddies. He had come and there was this application in the Times of India. There was an inquiry for sales engineers. Both of us applied. He applied because he was also an engineer from my own classmate. And then both of us applied. And I got a call for the interview. He didn't get a call. And that call from the interview for the interview was from a Swedish multinational company in Pune, headquartered in Pune. And that's where my formal employment journey started. And then I got hired. There were about 100, 120 odd people from various corners of India. Interview happened in Bengaluru. The big team had come here. And the only thing which helped me in that interview, see, there were probably the grades of that domain to which I did not have even any knowledge. And that domain knowledge was of metallurgy. I had studied metallurgy as one of the subjects in my engineering. That's it. But because I had put in some time in a sales job, which is in sales of pumps for the residential apartments and all that, I knew a bit of steel and special alloys which goes into pump manufacturing and all that. And on top of it, that interview was one of the best interviews that I've attended till date. But the best interview that I've ever attended, not one of the, but the best interview I have ever attended in my life is in the Indian military. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was somebody who was very keen to join Indian military. So I passed this UPSC, CDSE exam and everything.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I was qualified for this 5 days interview in Kaban Road in Bengaluru. It is a 5 days interview where the system is so rigorous that they assess you from the top to the bottom, from your attitude point of view, aptitude, your analytical skills, your communication skills, your apprehension skills.
So the learnings there, because you need to prepare, right? The competitive exams and all those preparations helped him in this job.
Yeah.
So no learnings ever are wasted.
Learnings
it may
are
not
wasted.
be directly something that will give you results, but it came to his help later on.
Yeah. That's really interesting, Jolly. So now I would love to talk about the finance aspect also. Like, how has your salary grown over these years?
My 1999 salary was 2,500 plus 3,500, 21 hours. And then 2002, September onwards, it was 14 and a half. And the beauty of that job was, somebody who was riding cycle, the company offered me a car. Yeah, I'm talking about 2002. No maintenance, nothing. Company takes care of everything. Even for your personal, matters, you can still use it. And back then, laptop was not a very unique thing. Laptop was always unique thing. Very special. So I was given a laptop. I was given a car. And 14,500 rupees salary. It was a complete turnaround from 5,500 rupees or 6,000 rupees, 21 hours to 5 days a week, 14,500 rupees a month.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then after that?
And then it was a progression. I stayed there with that company for about 4.5 years, and then moved on to another Swedish company, which was giving me a jump of about 34%. 35%. And then because my passion was always in aerospace, metallurgy, industry, and defense, I quit that company and then joined one more pure aerospace company, who was establishing themselves in a German company, establishing in Bengaluru, in India, and they were looking out for somebody in business development. So I went on to head that company and was with that company for about 8.5 years, 8+ years. In the German company, when I joined the company, it was about 9.5 lakh rupees.
It was a which year?
This was in 2008.
2008. Got it. And then?
And then I was there with them for about eight years. And then in 2015, I switched over to my current company where I'm working. I currently work for a US multinational company owned by Warren Buffett. We are doing fairly well in the Indian segment. We have an excellent share of business in the Indian market. Doing well on a personal front and as well as the corporate front.
So, I really enjoyed knowing about your career journey, and it's such a good, good payer. I think one more question that I had, like about your investing journey. When did you start to invest? So I would love to know first from your side, because initial years of yours were more of a survival.
The first year in my first job and also the second job, by the end of about 1 year time frame, I had saved about. I had a savings bank in Citibank back then. I had saved about 13,000 rupees for myself, savings. And out of that, I did a FD of about 10,000 rupees in some cooperative bank, Karnataka Industrial Cooperative Bank, because that cooperative bank was giving me higher rate of interest. Cooperative banks, they were giving higher rate of interest than any nationalized banks or the multinational private banks. So it was 13% or something, which they were giving back then.
Yeah.
It was all very high rate of interest. I left that money there, but I had almost forgotten about it. And 10, 11 years down the line, I realized that in some news, I see that bank was getting wound up. So I rushed myself there, and then I applied. Everything was shut, and there were only 2-3 people were sitting there. And then I applied for encashing it. Fortunately, I got my money back with all the interest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the interest rate was locked in. The 13% was locked. Was it locked in for a?
It was locked in for a certain period of time, and post that period, when this shutdown of that bank was happening because of some RBI guidelines, the interest was not being paid, and I didn't keep track of it. Some of the mistakes that we people do, and how we ignore it, and you do not have so much of maturity, you do not have knowledge. You will not have knowledge when you are 20, 25, 30, right? So you need to pick it up from your life. This is the first lesson.
Oh my God.
See, I want to add something. Like, his background is something that he lost his father very early on when he was almost 4 years down there. And his mother has been working and taking care of 2 sons. So they have had hardships early on, right? So they do understand the value of money. And that is something that, when you are grown in hardships, you value it more. And whatever your parents had to go through, you would never want your family to go through the same hardships again.
So I got to know that you started your investment from post office savings schemes, then fixed deposit, and then later on, how have you explored new investment avenues?
I had about 89 or 87,000 rupees or whatever that I had saved from my formal job.
Till 2002.
Till 2002. So whenever we accumulated some money, we were putting that money in lump sum mutual funds. My uncle, we call as Dodappa, which is my father's elder brother, he introduced me to one of his friend who was a mutual fund distributor back then. I did not hear anything about mutual fund until then. So he introduced me one of the regular funds. I invested about 10,000-12,000 rupees in that. So this is how I got started. That was the initiation of my interest in mutual funds. And when I started reading more about mutual funds, and then it took me back to how mutual fund invests and which companies they invest. And when I was looking at my fund, I forgot what is the name of that fund because I sold it off after about 7-8 years. That fund had invested in some of the large cap companies, which was back then it was L&T, Reliance, Infosys, TCS. Yeah, they are still on the top top 50, right? So some of the stock investments that I did are in some of these large cap companies. Yeah. So that I started my stock investments sometime in 2005 or 6 period. It was a growing phase. It was a massive growth time between 2000. If I'm not wrong, I think the equity markets gave maximum returns in India, NSE, BSE, between 2003, 2002 to 2005 and 2006 period. I put in my money there. I took out that money. See, these are all the mistakes that we do. That took out that money because something else came up in mind. And after getting married, I had this passion. You will laugh at me now. I had this vision, rather. What a crazy vision and strange vision. The vision for me after I got married to Vaishali was to own 4 plots. Don't ask me why, how, when. There was no questions, no answers, nothing. But it was something which was in my mind. 4 plots to build a home in 4 different directions of Bengaluru.
Don't ask why. That was his
No, I want to
dream.
know what was your response on that part?
Well, probably she agreed and nodded to most of it because you cannot tell her.
Yeah,
the
what were you
answer.
thinking? Maybe
you can
you
expose
would have
me now.
nodded, you would have said, but you were thinking something else at that point in time.
See, everybody has their own vision. So I didn't have anything. I mean, both of us also had another thought, was that we wanted to retire at 40 and we should have something on our own. So there were a lot of things that we used to discuss. There are a lot of things. And we were dreamers, I think. We always had, visions for how we want things to be and what we want to do and how we want to go ahead. So maybe you want to add something, Prasad?
Yeah.
I want to talk
So
about the
I want
vision,
to
the
go
plot
back to
vision.
the vision. Yeah, the vision of 4 plots. So out of that vision of 4 plots in 4 different directions of Bengaluru, we realized the first one in 2005. We bought a plot near Electronic City. We still own it, near Electronic City. And the good thing that we did was we took it on loan. But I would say that when you have limited resources, when your salary is limited, and when you work in a reasonably good company, which she was and which I was after our marriage, we were trying to leverage where we were working. We were trying to leverage whatever little salary that we were getting.
What was your combined salary?
When I was getting married, I think combined salary could have been probably 22,000 rupees or maybe 25,000 rupees. Yeah. Let's put it that way.
Combined salary is 25,000 rupees per month.
25,000 rupees per month. Yeah. And in that again, we were spending
On rent.
5,000 rupees odd on the rent and your home expenses and all that. We were literally saving close to about 50-60% of our income. And we have done that religiously.
So what was the price of that plot at that point in time?
Price of that plot was about 7.5 lakhs.
Okay.
This was happening until 2007. And the vision was still intact.
Yeah.
Of 4 plots in 4 different directions. We saw some ad on a Times of India newspaper, and it was some strange project. You come up with all these colorful golf course and all that picture and all that. And then somewhere we lost that and lost our maturity and the knowledge that we had gained in our first property. Then we went and saw it and all that. And it was a property which we bought in her name.
Okay.
And this is on Kolar Road.
Yeah.
So
Second plot bought in
east.
which year? East one?
this is 2007. And we paid
down.
by cash. See, these are all mistakes that we do.
Oh.
And we paid 4.5 or 5 lakhs. That property is still a big question mark even today, after 19 years, because the builder is not allowing anybody to do any development. Even now, he has put a big restriction. There is a compound built in and nobody is allowed to come inside. He is now demanding that if at all we want to sell it off, just square up all the property, he wants us to sell it after 19 years at the same price that he sold us in 2007. This is called as a ransom. This is a absolute terrorism. If you ask me, from a pure legal terminology, this is really
Because
you are
the value has increased multifold, but he wants us to sell it back to him at
Yeah.
the same cost that we bought.
yeah.
So it is one mistake that we are trying to share here. That what we should not do
Yeah.
when we should not pay cash down. Even if
Never pay cash down. So this is the lesson that I learned from this second property. This point, I'm a minimalist, and you can still see in my home, right? You can still see in my home. It's not something fancy. I do not like super luxury and all that. Not that I cannot afford. At this point in time, believe me, I can. But I do not want to. I still have my gurus in Warren Buffett. I still have my gurus in, not many people speak about him. There is a gentleman by name Tyagarajan, who is the CEO of close to about $2 billion company. If I say Tyagarajan, you may not even know. But if I say Tyagarajan from Shriram Group, he is the owner of the Shriram Group. And for a long time, until 2-3 years ago, I don't know if he continues to drive that car. He still drives his Santro. All I'm saying is that frugality is equally important sometimes. Right? What I'm saying is, all this, my experience is to youngsters, somebody who is getting started. Don't get locked yourself with this vision of building a home for yourself in your first 30, 32, 35 years. Allow yourself. Understand how some of the financial investment decisions can be made without much of complexity, without EMIs, right? I don't recommend owning a property for any individual until at least about 30, 35 years of age. And it is important that, I think in my opinion, post 35, people should own a home, because it is something which is very emotional in India. Owning a home is something very emotional in India. Unlike the West, where they don't care until they don't want to own a home many times. They do, some of them, not everybody, we cannot generalize. But most of the current generation in Europe or even in America is focused on not having kids and having fun throughout their life. They plan their holidays with their partners, and that's not the story here. We are a completely different culture.
So Prasad, coming to your investments part, I would love to know how's your portfolio look like as of now?
Yeah, my portfolio is heavily inclined on real estate at this point in time, which I'm going to reduce. Currently, real estate is 41%. And my mutual fund investment is about 17%. And my EPF, NPS, PPF, all that is about 17% again. My AIF and PMS is about 10%. And the rest is in cash and a very small percentage of 1% of gold. That's my portfolio.
Interesting.
And the total size of the portfolio is about, including everything, is about 10 crores plus.
So if I see your major, like you're heavily exposed to real estate. And till now we have talked about your 2 plots and 1 flat. Beyond these properties, do you have other real estate properties too?
No. The straight answer is no for the 41% contribution. 41% contribution also comprises of the 2 farmlands that we own. Right? Together we own them in 2 different locations, close to about 10 acres of land. And on top of it, what I have also tried doing, putting in a lot of personal time during weekends, despite my work schedule, is I have tried to develop one farm like a mini factory. We currently grow dragon fruits, and currently it is on an autopilot mode. I generate close to about 20 lakhs annually from one of the farm. So we are replicating rather the same model in our second farm, and that is going to be on an autopilot mode in about 2 years from now. The income from the farm produce will be no less than about 30 to 40 lakhs a year, just from the farm produce. And that farm produce will be a zero income tax.
Interesting. So I have one question. Though, as of now, you said, okay, plot is not a good investment for you because now it's not yielding anything, but farmland has yielded. So a lot of our users want to buy farmland. So do you recommend that it's like a good way to earn a passive income? What's your take on this?
It's a good question. I'm also seeing greater interest from working professionals to have a farm piece of land. But there are a lot of challenges in buying the farm. Fundamentally, we should answer certain questions where are you willing to spend your weekends and dedicate your weekends to grow, to go and develop the farm, grow something, and then maintain something, pay money to the caretaker, 15, 20, 30,000 rupees salary, and then really able to meet those expectations and then generate revenue and then earn profit. If the answer is yes, definitely you should go and buy. If the answer is no, you should not be buying it. You will be better off as a working professional to simply go with your family, kids, husband, spouse, whoever it is, go there, go to a resort. If you really want to take a break from the city, go to a resort, pay 4 to 8,000 rupees for 2 nights stay, have fun, no baggage, pay that and then enjoy for 2 days, come back and rejuvenate yourself.
And in 2022, when you bought the land, what was the price at that point in time?
We paid 6.5 lakhs.
Okay, for 3.5.
But it's in a different location altogether. These are all in 2 different districts, in 2 different directions also.
6.5 lakh for 3.5 acres.
Per acre.
6.5 lakhs per acre.
Also, I have one question regarding mutual funds. If I'll go back to that topic, obviously you started taking in, like when you started investing in mutual funds, you started taking help from the expert. But after that, also I want to know, did you also rebalance your mutual fund portfolio or check if your funds are underperforming? Then should I switch to another fund? Do you also do these kind of checks?
I do. Because once I started the SIP portfolio in 2015, I also started reviewing it from 2017-18 onwards myself. And then whichever mutual fund was laggard, they were all lagging behind. Some of them, not everything, because they were all curated funds and doing reasonably well. There were really no questions about it. Some of them I rebalanced it and then brought them back onto the right funds. I typically invest in mid caps. I typically invest in flexi caps. And I also invest, considering my age, I also invest in large caps.
Got it. Makes sense. So when you talk about you rebalance, like you noticed a few mutual funds were lagging behind. So what exactly do you look into so that you get to know, okay, these mutual funds are underperforming?
There are several aspects to the mutual fund, but fundamental aspect that I look at is the rolling returns, which is primary for me. A lot of people do this mistake of just looking at the CAGR or the XIRR returns. I do not have anything to say about it, but that may not necessarily be the right decision-making process. So I look at rolling returns. I look at who is the fund manager, first of all, and is the fund manager sticking to the objective of the mutual fund. Every mutual fund has an objective. But a lot of fund managers, they stray away from the objective and thereby they lose their track. And also there are funds which has very high AUM, right? So those heavy AUM funds have very less flexibility to go and invest in a company which they think is going to do extremely well, because the fund manager's hands will be tied as per the SEBI guidelines. It is not fund manager's problem. He cannot square it off and then go back and sell it and buy something else. So these flexibilities will be missing in case of a mutual fund. And these are some of the parameters that I look at.
Yeah, interesting. I personally like that you mentioned about the rolling returns that are really an important factor that one should consider. And another point is that when the fund becomes too heavy, then fund managers have to play the game very carefully. They don't have that level of flexibility when the fund was smaller. Interesting. Now I have a last question to you. So now if I say you have a solid passive income and your liquid investments are also very much sorted and you are still working. Now I'm really curious why are you still working? And first of all, I want to know how many years of expenses does your retirement corpus cover?
Okay. I'll answer, I think you have 3 questions. I'll answer one at a time.
Okay.
Before I forget the third one. If I decide to quit, or if I want to quit, or if we both want to quit and lead a very stable life, we can do it very easily today. The reason is, at this point in time, our current monthly expense, which is about close to 1.7 lakhs, we can cover it up. We can cover that expense within our current portfolio for about 50 times to 55 times of the current expenses. So typically the so-called FIRE model, which is available in the market, I'm using the word FIRE for a reason, because it's being largely talked about nowadays. In any case, I don't believe it, but FIRE number is typically anywhere between 25 to 30 times of your annual expense. So we are reasonably covered for about 50 to 55 times of our annual expense. So from that angle, your question is absolutely valid. But I do not have any intentions to retire from my job, for a simple reason, because I love my job.
Yeah.
I like it.
Interesting. I'm super happy to host both of you. Your journey is really inspiring. Like, starting salary is 2,500 and you have built a corpus of 10 crore plus. It's really interesting to know the story, and it's truly inspiring for me. Even after making so many mistakes, we can still make it. This is a lesson that I've learned. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to have you around.